Slick.
Wait till that start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit different. That body. Oh.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's going to get...
In August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds.
Boxing fans, imagine the ultimate clash. Terence Crawford, pound-for-pound king, stepping up against the Mexican powerhouse, Canelo Alvarez. But here's the twist. Legends like Mike Tyson, Robert Garcia, and Chris Algieri say Crawford might be making the biggest mistake of his career. Can skill overcome raw power? Or is this fight over before it begins? Let's break it down. Mike Tyson didn't hold back at the press conference. Standing beside Canelo Alvarez, Tyson said Crawford is simply too small to compete with a fighter of Canelo's size and strength. In his words, there's no realistic chance for Crawford to win. His blunt assessment has fans questioning if this fight should even happen.
That Terence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am Mike Tyson. He says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terence Crawford favors the skill set of Terence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout.
Veteran Gabe Rosado agrees. While he respects Crawford's skill and precision, Rosado says that against a powerhouse like Canelo, who has absorbed shots from the hardest hitters in the sport, Crawford's punches might not make an impact. Size and durability, Rosado insists, are huge factors in this matchup.
So I don't see how Crawford could hurt Canelo, because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I spar the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power, and I spar a guy that's a welterweight, it feels like a pillow.
Boxing commentator Shobus says it plainly. Crawford's versatility and boxing IQ won't be enough. He believes Canelo's size, experience, and ability to control the ring give him the clear advantage.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah. Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Trainer Robert Garcia worries that gaining extra weight could hurt Crawford more than help him. He points out that speed and stamina, two of Crawford's biggest weapons, can suffer when a fighter bulks up too fast.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it, you know, you guys were just mentioning right now, that Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork because of the weight. So we'll see. I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where the danger comes in.
Gary Enchuin says Canelo's style is perfected, from slick head movement to deadly body shots. He believes Crawford can't simply take away what Canelo has mastered over years of top-level competition.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, he go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. Yeah. I'm talking about like not 12 round shape. I'm talking about like 16 round shape.
Former champ Chris Algieri warns that moving up in weight changes timing, movement, and endurance. He doubts the extra pounds will give Crawford any real power advantage.
Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, to exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this, if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not Floyd. Floyd was 36 when they fought.
One analyst says Crawford's problem is simple. He won't be able to hurt Canelo. Without power to gain Canelo's respect, the fight becomes an uphill battle.
Before Pound, he was on the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez. And he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot, there's a power punch. Yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Daniel Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how we say Iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terence Crawford. And also, put it this way, after the fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hook and he didn't even feel nothing. Jermell Charlo was Iron Man Jermell Charlo, the 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was an undisputed, a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
Willie D highlights the age and size advantage for Canelo, saying these factors will affect everything from reflexes to recovery.
It's 34. Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 74 inches tall, which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over...
Having fought Canelo himself, Ryder says the Mexican star's constant pressure wears fighters down mentally and physically, something Crawford may struggle to handle over 12 rounds.
Okay, but we have to break some things down into perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147-pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147-pounder. Another thing is, he's an extremely determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth as the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers. You only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, if we want to break it down fundamentally, don't get me wrong. Canelo is a strong fighter. You know, he's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, thicker, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Benavidez here, okay? We're fighting a guy that he can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches. You know what I mean? So for me, Terence Crawford is going to be, if Canelo goes in there and underestimates Crawford's strength, that could be a mistake, okay? It only takes a few pounds of pressure to hurt a guy. You don't need to be that big of a guy to hurt a guy. So, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to that.
This is a battle between skill and size, speed and strength. Which side are you on? Crawford's brilliance or Canelo's power? Let us know in the comments.